Welcome back to ShopDog-Garage. It's a Henry J video. So, taking a break off the rocket ship tonight. Let's do something useful here. I think, well look, he put the tires back on for me. I'm going to drop her, roll her back, and make some measurements at the top of that master. I just want to make sure we're getting a full 1 16" of travel, because if we are, that leaves us at a bad master. So let's go from there. Okay, got her down. I think she's back far enough. I'm going to check the door for clearance. With the roll cage and everything else I got to dance around. I really worry about this door. Okay, I'll have to go find my little kneeling pad, but I want to work up in there. So let me figure out how I'm doing that. Well, I don't know how on earth I'm getting it back in there, but that's future me's problem. I got it out. Told you that was coming back off. So it sure didn't look like I was getting 1 1/8 of travel. So I'm going to make a little jig real quick and find out. Oh, just like that, the problem's quite obvious. Okay, from our pivot, this is 16 1/2 inches. That probably matters somewhere. All I know is if I line it up here, see, I've got her marked right there. Let me put her back in line here. Okay, and I come back hard against that floor. I've only moved 1/2 inch. That's not enough of an advantage. That has to move further. I have a feeling that when we set this up, that was back before we had that pedal. And I really bet it used to go all the way back to the floor. And I bet we had more like 12 inches of travel, which would give us our inch. And we don't have that now. I got to think about what our options are here. Harlan should be here shortly, so I will try to give him some things to think about. But it's not the master. We're just not using it. And while I'm thinking, I want to remember what this pedal box looks like. So, as you can see, I can't just move it up. It's kind of where it can be. Okay. I may be able to grab a little angle. I'm not sure. Because if I recall, that pedal was already sitting kind of high. I don't know. I have to think on that. Okay, and he does have the block-off plug for the transmission. Of course, I've got the car down. I don't want to monkey with it yet. We spent a little time doing a different chore. But, yeah. I'm going to have to really noodle on this. Realistically, I need to take like 4 or 5 inches of travel at the pedal and turn that into over 1 inch of travel at that point. And I'm going to really have to think on that. So I think what I'll do is take this home and then throw it in Inkscape. That's what I've been using a lot lately. It's simple. You know, I can change where my rotating points are and just experiment with it and see what my linear motion turns out to be coming from my rotation. I think that's what we're going to have to do. And on to a different thing, because we're jumping around tonight, is let's find out what our spline count is, what our drive shaft is, and then I will see what I can do about trying to figure out how I'm going to measure for this drive shaft. This car sits too low for me to shimmy under her, so we're going to be using muffler stands, and that's always terrifying. So we just got to do it in a smart way. Okay, so I just made that measurement, which would be dimension X, which for us is 40 3/4. So had to load the suspension, make it as short as the drive shaft's going to be. So that was our solution, but it made me nervous. So we've got the front blocked as well. So let's get her back up. Go ahead and bring her up a little. A little more. Okay, another touch. Okay, and now I'm going to get these jack stands out of here. That was a little sketch. Okay, last thing we're going to do is put this plug in. Hopefully I got enough room to get that wrench. We'll find out in a minute. Now, I know the aftermarket loves these button heads like this, but that sure was a pain. But I got it. It just took a while. Don't forget, ball end Allen keys can be your friend, and it was for a little bit on that one. Anyway, we're probably coming to the end of what I'm doing today. So, I'm going to remind you to please like, comment, and subscribe. Gotta say that all the time. But the Henry's coming along, and you can get a drive shaft on order. I'm curious if we have the caps for this. I don't know if this one's caps or straps on this one. I hope we do. If we don't, I mean, it should be pretty available. But yeah, let's get something on here. Then we can fill the tranny, and a few things get a little nicer. And in fact, once that's done, I think we'll do a quick adjust on the shocks, and then we can hang the exhaust. That'll be nice. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you later. This has been another ShopRex approved video.